Okay, just about to head out on the long run, but let's talk kind of equipment and things I'm using today. So I'm going with one of my long sleeve shirts. I normally have a short sleeve shirt, compression sleeves, and then a kind of really lightweight jacket. I'm still going to put on my compression sleeves because they're working really well for me. These are the ones that I got from Nathan. I've also got some compression calf sleeves that I'm just trying out today just because, again, I'm in that exploratory phase just to see what works and what doesn't. I'm going with my combo, which I really like at the moment, which is a underwear headband with the peculiar zip at the back of your head. Not entirely sure why you would need that. I've put keys in there before, but you can feel it. It's not something that's the most cushioned, so I normally go with that, and I just put kind of a beanie on the top of it. My Ron Hill one, which lights up at the back, is okay, but I get pretty warm in it quite quickly, and if we're out for an extended run, it's not the most comfortable. Always start off with my warm kind of thermal running gloves, and then I take them off as and when I need to. What I'm going to go with today is the Salomon Advance Skin 3, which I did a review on a good while ago now, but this is my kind of running belt. I really like this one. What I've got in the front here today is a Cliff Bar, just because I will likely be running home, and I'm just going to munch on that when I finish my run, or at least the first long part of the run, and then I'll continue thereafter. So I normally switch between this one and the running vest just to kind of see what flows and what feels good for me. So far this has been pretty good. I didn't enjoy it so much in the summer, but it feels a lot more comfortable now, so I don't know why that is necessarily, but I'm going to go with that today. I've got a bottle because we're going to be out for quite a while, so I've got my Nathan here, and it's got the kind of a hand grip, so I haven't actually used this before with the grip, so we'll just kind of see how we go. It feels like it's going to be absolutely fine, but like I say, first time out with it. In here I've got my Huma gel, which I'm going with, which is the mango, so I'll take that after 40 minutes today. I've got some Tailwind, which I'm going to just put here in my water bottle, just to kind of give it a spin, give it a whirl. Now really what they're saying is if you're using Tailwind, you shouldn't need to have a gel or anything like that, but I'm not necessarily going to be drinking the entire bottle whilst out on my run, so I'm going to just kind of do a bit of a combo mix today, and then I may well have, depending on how we go, a Cliff Shot before I leave, because I haven't had anything this morning, so I'm kind of fasted just because of the timings. I don't really have, I mean, run at 8 o'clock, but I'm not going to get up at 5 to have some porridge, because I would actually prefer to take the additional hour of rest. Like I said, I'm just going to work through it and see how we go. It might not be the best combination. I've also got, which I'll do another video on, I don't know if you can see this, I'll try and stand up here. I've got a, this is Ron Hill, and these are marathon shorts, and there's some really great features on it. I will talk more about it and why I've got those shorts, because it was between a few different pairs of shorts. Basically, these ones were on offer, and they were absolute steal of price. The other shorts I was looking into was a Patagonia Strider Pro, and I was most interested in the Salomon Exo Twin shorts, but they came in at something like £90. I'm not prepared to spend that kind of money on a pair of shorts, whereas I did need a new pair of shorts, and these are kind of a twin skin version, so you've got that running tight short underneath, followed by a real lightweight, comfortable fitting short over the top. So that's what I'm going with today. And yeah, we'll just see how we get on. I'm excited, looking forward to it, I'm feeling good. I've done a little bit of foam rolling. I've got a Tiger Tail massage stick now. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, possibly not. But it just gives you a chance to kind of do a manual roll. It's a longer tube, solid tube, where you should really get into those areas that are causing you some kind of discomfort if they're there, instead of the larger foam roller, which I do use both, but I find that actually just being able to get into those smaller, harder to reach areas, you can really pinpoint where you want to do your massage focus. So, catch up with you later on. Should be on the road actually when I'm heading back, and I'll give you kind of a little analysis. I don't believe I'm going to be able to take a little snapshot on the route, only because it does involve other people, and where we run is kind of traily, and I did get my phone out last week, but in doing that, I nearly tripped over on a route, so it's not really worth it for the content, me falling over. Maybe that would be funny content, but yeah, anyway, I'll catch you later. So this here might give you an idea of the kind of routes that we're running. We go through the trees back there, and then we just head out through the woods and onto the army ranges, and then we take in a kind of a canal towpath and then sometimes back round to the road, and yeah, then we end up back at the starting point. So just waiting to get going now. Feeling pretty good. Had my Cliff Jar just before I came out, so that was I think a good move. Tailwind, this flavour's a little bit peculiar, but hey, it's the first time I've tried it. It's obviously mixed with water. So just ready to get going now. Got about 2 minutes before we all gather, and then we'll roll out. Run completed. It was really good today. 15k, really good to run with the group. Just me and my uncle actually, but great pacing. It felt really good. Short performed well, compression performed well, nutrition, hydration, everything was just kind of on point. Anyway, I'm just taking a quick vid, and then what I'm going to do is actually carry on my run. So just taking the gel in, quick 30 seconds on the vid, and then I'm going to run it home and just kind of see how far I get. No pressure on me to do a massive distance, but while I'm feeling good, it makes sense to continue. I forgot I can record now. Sun on me out on the run, just alongside the road now, but we did the most amazing out and back along the canal. We saw foxes, squirrels, all sorts of wildlife, all sorts of different birds. Such a dream this morning, really. Conditions are perfect. I felt comfortably warm, if that makes sense. Not overheated, not cold. Kept my gloves on for the duration, just taking them off now, mainly to open the gel. And so, yeah, a really positive, really good run. And what we've got coming up in a few weeks' time is an 8k to a park run, the park run, and then 8k back. So I know my thoughts last night about running in the group might be, more of a negative, but actually I think there's a lot of positives, and if I can just incorporate some runs there or back on the days I feel it, that will just round off everything nicely. And it's good to run with other people. It's a bit dull on your own, and so it's nice to change it up. And we spoke about doing some pyramid workouts in the week individually. I don't know, Forrester Dean Runner did a great pyramid video the other day, and I commented saying how brutal it looked, but guess what, that's coming up for me. Okay. Whew. 2 new records. Let me get sorted and we'll talk. So let's talk about this morning's run. Wow, it was just phenomenal, really. I know I mentioned last night that I was kind of longing to try and get to that half distance, and it wasn't my intention to do that today, but we did the really nice easy pace 15k. We actually got to 14 and a bit, and we obviously rounded up to 15, which was really cool. And thereafter I thought, well, I'll just see how I go. I took the gel on board. Tailwind was easy to drink. I realised why it tasted a bit funny as well, because it was a new bottle, so I probably should have washed that out first. Probably didn't add to the flavour. But I took my gel on board, started to hit the road, soon began falling into my kind of natural pace, which is around that kind of 5:30 mark. And even when I started setting off, I thought, well, look, if I can just do a couple of K, that'd be great. Either way, I've got to get home, and if I have to walk, I'm going to get cold. So I thought I'll just at least be doing a jog. And there was a few hilly sections there. I just took it in my stride, didn't really think too much about it. And then I got to 19, and I thought, you know what? I'm feeling pretty healthy here. Things are going well. I've got a good pace on the go. I wonder if I can first of all get to the half distance. And then when I got up to 20k, I realised that I could possibly do it, possibly beat my PB. Not that was my goal, but I think unfortunately that little bit of ego inside you takes over, and you think, oh, I've come all this way, let's just go for it. And then that dilemma that I always have: how far is a half marathon in kilometres? Because I know that it's awkward. I know that when I originally did my first half, I thought it was 21k, but I know it isn't that. I know it just kind of tips over. So I ran towards 22, and actually 22 and a bit took me back to my front door, so it made sense to continue. And then I checked my watch, because of course I couldn't really see whether I'd done a better time or not, because the watch was still going. Watched it, synced it, 2 new records, a new half marathon PB, which we'll see on the screen now, a new PB for my longest distance, which was today. Strava did something a bit peculiar. It said I had a couple of PBs, and it turns out that I've got a new one for, I think it's 10 mile, 15k and 20k, something like that. Now, all those things considered, I've got to take into account the fact that actually the first 15 kilometers I was just kind of coasting it and taking it in my stride and not really worrying too much about putting any real massive effort or strain on my body. So I feel quite confident with the idea that in the not too distant future, if I really try and really want to focus, I could do a half marathon in under 2 hours. And on top of that, I felt really good about myself that I could do that 15 kilometers and then had enough in the tank to continue, and on top of that continue at a pace and not just sit around kind of like 6:15, 6:30 and just jog it home and actually feel like all I'm doing is just pushing for distance and not really stepping up. So it's nice to have had a bit of a fast finish as well. Whether that will come into play for my half marathon strategy, I don't know. I've obviously got 2 half marathons in a row, and I originally thought I'd just do the first and just take it as I find it and not worry too much, because that was going to be probably one of the first times for a while that I've done the half distance. Then I thought about today whether I do the first half of the half, just keep that pace under control, feel the rhythm, and just get into a pattern of pace that I'm comfortable with. Just feel out my nutrition, make sure it's all going to plan, make sure my legs are feeling good, make sure everything's feeling as it should. And then that 10k back or so, start to pick up the pace by say 15 seconds. And then with 5k to go, really pick up again, maybe by another 15 seconds. I don't know, I'm just throwing different ideas out there. But thank you to John yesterday. He originally mentioned about running to a destination and running home again. He mentioned it a few months ago, and I completely forgot about it. And he mentioned it yesterday in the comments. Thank you for doing that, John. And it just reminded me and kind of refreshed my memory. So yeah, all in all, just the most awesome day. Really proud of myself, really pleased with what I was able to achieve. It just topped off the week, although I've still got my gym tomorrow, and actually meant that my tempo that I was going to do on Thursday, it just made up for it today. It really did. I know it's not the same. I appreciate it's not the same, and speed workouts are important. I get that. I do get that. But perhaps taking that day allowed me to just open up a little bit more today, and to just use my pace that's in there. And so yeah, really good. Of course, the idea that I've got to do that twice is still a bit of a hard one for me to even process in my head.